Richard Bellis here with columnist Bob Robb. The pictures and situation in Ukraine, uh, it's hard to fathom and get your head around it. And Bob, you make a lot of points in this column about the situation the United States is in and the limits on how it can help alleviate what's going on in Ukraine.
I think the world owes a great debt to the leaders and people of Ukraine. I think they've changed the course of European history. They've created a firm anti-Russian coalition and consensus there. They may change the history of the world if the question becomes not just Russia, but what about China, which joined in a autocratic alliance with Russia against everything that we stand for. As heart-rending as it is, the security interest for the United States and Ukraine are just marginal. And it is impossible to assess what Putin might do to win or salvage his position in Ukraine. And I think that given those circumstances, what the Biden administration has done, which is basically try to stay within the consensus in Europe with respect to sanctions and military assistance to the Ukrainians, is the right course for this country. And as painful as it is to say no to the things that President Zelensky is asking in order to protect his people against indiscriminate bombing from the air, I think given the impossibility of assessing the risk for the United States, it is sadly and unfortunately a plea to which we have to say no.
Right, and not to put too fine a point on it, but as you mentioned, it's hard to assess whether Putin just wants Ukraine or whether there's a larger motive to bait the United States into maybe a nuclear standoff.
Well, what Putin wanted to achieve in Ukraine, he has not achieved. And he's united Europe against him, and the world, the democratic world, against him. His position as leader of Russia, and perhaps even his existence as a human being, may be at risk. So it's not so much a belief that there was a desire by Putin to have a broader conflict as the impossibility of assessing the risks that he might be willing to take to salvage his position, given how poorly Ukraine has gone for him, and how much he's united the democratic world against him and made his country a pariah state. I don't think that we can have any idea of what he might be willing to do on a going forward basis.
Right, and again, we're just touching the surface here of what is a lot of analysis within the column, as always. Thank you, Bob.
Thank you.